Hello, beautiful human. I am Zach. That is Dan. We welcome to the studio. I'm so excited. Niall Horan is here.
Woohoo!
Was that confusing that I just started like that?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we were just talking about you moving studios, and then
We were talking about how
hello, beautiful human.
we were talking about how we got fucked over by our last radio company, which is like decently well documented. But it's okay because like we're fine. Like we're doing okay.
I'm fine.
I'm fine. I'm 30 now. I'm stronger because of it.
Yeah.
I'm new to
I
30.
forgot about that. Congratulations, happy birthday.
Well, thank you so much.
Belated.
I don't like. There's so much to get into. We obviously have an album to talk about, and I'm obsessed with it. I have many notes to go over. Does sitting in that chair give you a new perspective on being one of those contestants years ago?
Oh yeah, because at points it still feels like it was just yesterday. So I know what it's like to to stand on the opposite side and like feel that some like famous fucker opposite you has your future in their hands. You know, you're looking at them going, please, yeah, pick me. So I know exactly what that feels like to be the cameras on, the lights, the Carson Daly thing. Like it's a scary prospect for no matter what age you are, but to be like 15 and to get up there and sing, and especially in the auditions, you've got like 90 seconds to give the best version of yourself. And because we've only got speakers, we're listening closer than we would if we were staring right at you. Like you're listening for faults and you're listening for the good things in the voice. Excuse me. So yeah, they do. It reminds me of what it was like standing there, and there's that level of empathy that you have to have. That I've found comes in handy on this show. Also scary too.
It is really scary because at the end of the day, to your point, you hold so much in your hand, and also like we're talking about like really young people. But at the end of the day, the voice, in whether they win or no matter how far in the competition they make it, it's an incredible opportunity, an incredible learning experience.
It's an amazing platform. It's a completely musical show. It's like the band is insane. You get
crazy
to play all these sick songs that you want to sing. Like it's an amazing platform that you wouldn't necessarily get. Like we've got kids from like all over the country, from the smallest of little towns, who would never have the chance if they didn't. Like what I was like. You know, come from a small little town, and you know you can play the clubs and the bars and stuff like that as well. But this gives you this like leg up platform wise, and even if you don't win, like you still had the opportunity.
By the way, like a career in music that like definitely kicks off with the X Factor, but starts even further back to when your brother was supposed to be the one playing the guitar, and you took that guitar and you mastered it.
I don't know if I mastered it.
I mean, you've come pretty far with it.
Yeah, I've definitely come far with it. Yeah, it was a gift, and it never got used, and I just started playing it.
Is that like a weird blessing? Like, do you think if your brother ended up using that guitar, you would never have touched it and we wouldn't be here?
Unless I fought to like for someone to get me a guitar, I probably wouldn't have. But yeah, it's you know, turn of events.
What called you to it? Like, what was it about a guitar? Like, and obviously you performed in like school performances. You were Oliver Twist. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I played Oliver at like 7.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it was.
It's a huge look. Changes your fucking life.
It was amazing though.
But do you learn guitar after or before that?
Yeah, after that. I was probably 11 or 12 maybe when I properly started playing it. Like playing Wonderwall, and you learn the 4 chords, and then weirdly enough, most of the songs are written with those chords, so you have them.
Are you using those 4 chords today as you craft the show?
Yep.
What is the show?
It's a metaphor.
To life?
Yeah. Just kind of having reflected on everything during the pandemic and having like still time, it was very much realizing, looking back on achievements, looking left and right, you know, and just kind of seeing being grateful for things. Just having a reflection period and thinking about what my outlooks are in life and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, it's the show.
Do you find any, I don't know, peace in realizing that life is nothing but a show? Because that's kind of scary to think about.
Well, it's just I guess so, yeah. There's ups and downs, there's good and bad, it's just, yeah. There's a start and a finish, and a start, a middle, and an end.
Yeah, right. But where's the
An
intermission?
encore.
But where the fuck's the intermission, man? Where is the intermission?
Oh, at some point. Probably at post-retirement. You get a little...
And then you come back again?
Get a little half hour.
And that's literally it.
Go take a piss and come back and do it again.
When did you know this album was done?
When I wrote You Could Start a Cult.
It's one of my favorite songs on this album.
Mm.
It is the harmonica.
Mm.
You gonna challenge yourself to figure out how to play one?
That was me playing it. And
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Was it really?
I mean, it's 4 notes, Zach.
I don't care. It was really impressive.
Thank you.
It's given Bruce, baby.
Is that really you?
Yeah.
Wow, great
Wait.
job.
Yeah, I just... well, John Ryan, he can play the harmonica and he could have just Bob Dylan'd it and soloed the hell out of it, but he was like, you should do it. Like, I was like, I can't play. He was like, but just that is what's going to make the song. It's going to be like the honest. You're playing the guitar, you're singing, you're playing a harmonica. It's just you on the song. And he said that's what will make it like the most honest version of itself.
And that also challenges you, right?
Yeah, it was great. I have a video somewhere. I'll show it to you.
Yeah, please.
It's really cool.
Will you bring that to life in that way? Will you have a harmonica around your neck and a guitar strapped around you?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like when I play, like on the tour, that'd be a sick moment. I'd play all the little ballads together and have the little thing around my neck.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like the harmonica, just like the saxophone, which you also feature on this album, two incredibly lost instruments that, you know, people like Bruce Springsteen have given such a beautiful place to throughout musical history. Does the harmonica naturally just come up? Or like, how does it just get in there? Like,
It was on the table next to me.
really?
Not even a joke. Like John at his desk where I recorded the song, he's got like a table like this, like the studio desk, and the mic is like this, is clamped to the edge of the table. And just next to it, I was just sat there doing vocals, and then the harmonica, it was in like a bowl of like picks, and I was just like, and it happened to be in the right key, which is handy.
Have you ever played a harmonica before?
A little bit, yeah. I can play like it's 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
Wow,
I can play that,
that's pretty good.
and that's about it. And a few Irish little, like, it's Celtic to me.
Sick.
Yeah, I can play a few little bits like that.
So, I mean, to have that naturally just work into a record, I mean, obviously it's a challenge because you get to bring it to life on stage, but there's something deeper to the live instrumentation that connects every song on this album, no?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, kind of stepped away from that a little bit on the last record, and wanted to just go straight back to it. Like it's very much in the moment, tracking everything. All of us were in there playing, which makes such a difference, I think. And you get the most out of the record by doing it live and then maybe compressing it afterwards, or do the drums live and then dress them up a little bit later. It makes such a difference, and it makes you want to hear the record live. And it's because I think this is one of those albums that needs to be played live.
I'm so excited to see it come to life. But even on You Could Start a Cult, there's like outdoor sounds. Like it's the sound of just night at the back of that record.
Yeah, there was like John's studio is like a barn with a high ceiling, and in the beam he's got like 2 like atmospheric mics
Sick.
that are just like hooked up that you just press record and like catch stuff. And
It feels like you're there.
yeah, and we were finished the song, and I was just playing like a little right-handed piano thing, and he just left it in. And there was like they're like it's out in Malibu, so you can hear all the whatever they are, crickets or whatever.
It's like beautiful texture.
It was nice, yeah.
Why did that song signal the end?
It felt like it was the thing I was missing. Like it felt like I was still missing that little acoustic moment with just me. And I had all these plans to like get loads of harmonies on it and strings and all the things on it. But John was like, we're missing the little Niall Horan acoustic moment. And then once I'd written that, I was like, right, okay, that's it.
You are so much more than beautiful to me. What does that really mean? Exactly what it says?
Yeah. Inside,
Inside and out?
Yeah.
Which love is stronger? Does one's love for person exceed one's love for just beauty?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You'd hope.
Definitely. Well, you'd like to think so. If you can come across it.
That's the rare thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I think
Was that song always titled "You Could Start a Cult," or did you decide that afterwards? Because it could easily be called like "Follow" or something like that.
Yeah. No, it felt like the most. You sit down and you look through the lyrics after, and you're like, well, that's definitely the most standout line in it.
Definitely grabs your attention.
Yeah, I think that song was like when we put the set list out, it was like trending.
That's the first thing I noticed. I was like, you could start a cult.
It's the name. I'm telling you, you're going to see streams on this record like peak, maybe higher than some of the others because of the name.
Yeah,
it really stands out.
I didn't mean to do that, but I definitely I like the irony of it being that dark of a sound, and then it's actually the complete opposite of a song. Like the title sounds like it's gonna like be some weird song, and it's actually just the opposite.
Is it an insult or a compliment to be told that you are so beautiful and your energy is so overwhelming that it's persuasive and can literally lead kingdoms to fighting over you?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's like it's a statement.
Oh yeah.
There's no doubt. Like if you heard that, you'd be like, oh Jesus. Yeah, I think it makes a difference. Like, yeah, if that song was written about me, I'd be happy.
Is that song fueled by love or just fueled by your perception of what you see?
I am fueled by love, yeah, for sure, definitely. Just like you're always like, when you sit down to write a song, you could easily go, I love you and this and that. You could just make it very like linear and simple, but I like when you try and expand and like make it as big and the statement's huge to the point where they sound like ridiculous,
but yet still beautiful.
Yeah.
When you play it for her, is that a big deal?
Yeah, she gets it. She likes it. She's like, it's a big statement. But yeah,
honestly, sometimes beautiful people stress me out. for this idea of like kingdoms fighting over them.
Yeah, I just love that statement. Like, the first verse sets up the song, and then the second verse kind of expands on what she could do. Like, I heard a line in a song there the other day. Oh no, it was a reply to a tweet, and it said, "Your eyes could grow flowers."
Whoa!
Some fan said it to me, and I actually remember I screenshotted it, and I was like, "Oh,
that's good."
I wonder, do you mind if I steal that? Like, they're the kind of lines that get your ears perked up. And that's why I like kingdoms fighting over you. You can see it. It's nearly like really picturesque, like Braveheart battlefield.
That's literally what I saw, is her standing in the middle and just people fighting around her. Well, and I did just see water pouring out of your eyes into a flower.
That's what I was viewing, like his beautiful blue eyes having flowers growing out of them.
No, water is coming out of his eyes to water flowers.
Oh, I was thinking flowers growing out of your eyes.
Well, that's
like
art, man. That is fucking art. It's up for the interpretation.
Take it as you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Boom. Save My Life.
Oh, Save My Life. You like Save My Life. I think you've told me that before.
Obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Obsessed with it. The saxophone, fucking really good.
Yeah.
Do you believe love can save somebody's life?
I'm sure it can, yeah.
Can a single human being's love save somebody's life?
Yeah, well, everyone yearns for love and attention, don't they? And
I think.
Whether they know it or not. And then if they don't get it, then they get the emotional support, they could.
That's the T. Do you feel like...
That's the T.
That's the T.
Do you feel like you... And I ask from a genuine place, because I come from the same place. Do you feel like you see love a little bit differently because your parents got divorced early on in life?
Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah. I write about it in Never Grow Up.
That's... And by the way, it's you being afraid that you're going to lose this thing that kept you together at the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Well, you always try to keep it exciting. It's when you've seen it crumble so many times in front of you, not just even within my family, you're just like, I prefer not to have that if I can stop it. And I could prefer to not see it crumble.
Do you feel like you learn from watching it?
Oh yeah, yeah. The thing about it is, there's a song by Peter Gabriel, and it's called "The Book of Love," and it says, "The book of love is long and boring, and no one can lift the damn thing." And there's basically what he's saying is there's no book for any of it. So you just have to hope for the best and try and do the right things. But that's the way of learning. Just fucking going through it and keep your fingers crossed.
Fingers and toes.
Yeah.
But do you hesitate jumping in because you know how bad it could be?
Well, I think different this time, having wrote Dear Patience on the last record, which was basically a letter to don't fuck it up, dude. Yeah, I think I've learned to give it a chance, give it time. I think that's made me better for it.
True love, correct me if I'm wrong, seems to be patient.
Yeah.
It gives everybody room to grow.
Yeah.
And learn.
Yeah.
And exist.
Mm-hmm.
And have shit crumble and turn to fucking ashes, but also have the ability to come back again.
Yep. Phoenix.
Yeah, baby.
Rising from the ashes.
Grow old and never give up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every night is on fire when you're turning off the lights. It is a beautiful song that is, I don't know, incredibly deep and tells a real story, but also has this like sexy fucking air to it.
Yeah. You always try to add a little bit of spice to even the softest of songs. Yeah, because it's true, isn't it? Like, you're trying to keep things exciting. So there is a element of that to it.
But is that not pressure?
Go again?
Well, like, to keep things exciting, and this is where I'm like kind of torn, right? As I figure out love. I'm 30.
Is this you? Am I like now you're a therapist?
Yeah. This is more you helping me, less me.
I can see what's going on.
Talking to you. Thank you. I mean, it's very.
You don't actually want to know what the songs are about at all.
No, but to be
We're
honest,
just
they're
going
all,
through Zach's love story.
okay,
Yeah.
first of all, they're all connected to love. Okay, that's on you. And I'm listening and re-examining my own existence in life. So,
Up next, Dan. Right after this commercial break.
wow, hosts a radio show once.
Yeah.
Damn. Jeez. No, but I do like I am very much like I don't know. I you know, fuck. You want to keep things fresh, man, but also at the same time, like, is love effortless where you don't think about it, or is true love something you like actually actively think about, and then like, you know, you actively have to think about keeping it fresh? Does that make sense?
I don't know. I think there's probably a mix in it. Like there's times when you don't think about it, and then there's times that you have to
Think about it.
Yeah, just it's like fucking anything. When you're going through life, you're just like, there's days where you just cruise, and then there's days when you don't, and that's what it is.
And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I keep going back in my own life. Love is patient, right?
Mhm.
So like some days you're not going to cruise, and some days you're going to hit a speed bump.
Correct.
That's fucking okay.
It's real life, man.
It's how you recover and keep going. At least that's what I'm told. A song like Never Grow Up, where does that start? Does that start from you wanting to tell this story, or does it start from you hearing an instrumental and going from there?
No, this was a piano part that I had for ages. Sent it to John. John was like, "That's sick. We need to write that." And then I was then thinking, what does that sound like to me? That's what happens sometimes. Like when you get the music first, you're like, okay, so what's the feeling here? Like this piano part does not scream. Jump around summer tune to me. It has to have a a smaller concept, specific, and then you just try and sing as many good melodies as you can. And wrote this one in Nashville actually. Yeah, so that was, and I just knew that's what it was. One of the things that I've always wanted to say.
Is this idea of like, you know, growing old but never growing up?
Yeah, I think we all do that, don't we? Like when you're young, you want to be old, and when you're older, you want to be young.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I would love the idea of being young, knowing what I know when I'm older, which I think could apply to this concept as a whole.
Yeah.
Right? You could still be young in spirit, but still be old in skin.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. No, there's that too.
Some young motherfucker in my life used to tell me that, like, oh, age is just a mental state. I like tell that to somebody who's in a fucking hospital, brother. You know? Tell that to a guy who needs a walker.
Yeah, true. Honestly.
So, fuck. Do you see yourself, like, when you're writing a record like this, where does your mind go? Are you solely focused on getting that record done to completion, or are you actually going back and being transported to instances that help build this song into what it is?
I found this album came from just being sat at home. Like, I'd never had a period in my life where I was sat still since I was like 15.
That's stillness is scary.
Yeah. I think we all learned that.
Uh,
Like being in the apartment for 6 months, that'll that'll provoke some shit.
But you were being still with somebody you ended up falling in love with.
Mm.
So it is a different experience.
Yeah, no, I think, and it's that's made a difference, you know, to everything, because I'm able to sit down, reflect on what's happened previously, get clarity on it, and then also enjoy what this is. You know, there's a bit of both going on, and then when I'm sitting there going, okay, what's the next album going to be about? It's like, write about what's going on right now. And don't think, okay, what should I write this song about? What should I write that song about? You're just like, oh, fucking know exactly what I'm going to say. Here's my 15 ideas for concepts. Go and write the fucking thing.
Do you just send those right to John, or do you internalize them yourself, get things to a certain point, and then go to him?
Bit of a mix. Like at the start, I wrote the show and I wrote Science, and they were kind of the two things that I was going into the rest of the record with, which are two kind of ethereal but big picture. You know, one's about fucking anxiety, and the other one's about life, the show, and the ups and downs of it, and being grateful and all that. So I was going in with like a set concept just from two songs, and then it was about finding the spokes on that wheel. And then me and John would have a big chat and talk about sound, and then when you hear a few tracks and you hear us what we're jamming, like, then it provokes more thoughts and the concepts get bigger, and it's a rolling thing.
But it's all rooted in deep honesty.
Yeah, I feel like I've kind of done a good job in that previously, but probably no more so than now. I think I feel like I'm an open book.
I was going to say, where's the cliche? There it is. But it's true.
And now that I'm 30, I've obviously solved the whole fucking planet.
Yeah.
And sorted it all out, guys. I'll let you know. Off camera, I'll tell you how it's done, yeah?
I look forward to receiving all of life's lessons from you, great Niall Horan.
You're not 30 yet, though. You turned 30 this year, right?
30 in September, yeah.
You looking forward to that?
Yeah.
Joining the 30 Club?
Are you boys in it? Yeah, both of you are in it now.
Yeah, we joined it.
Yeah, great. What's it like?
It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I wasn't scared at all, but like when you finally get to 30, you're like, all right, I'm 30. That's
Right.
my life now.
It's the same as fucking any age, I guess.
Exactly.
Age is only a state of mind.
That's
Am I
it.
right?
That's it.
It's only a number.
Until you have a cane. By the way, 30 is something else.
Yeah.
Age is scary. Do you feel social pressures to accomplish things, by a certain age?
Not
Not like maybe work accomplishments, but maybe life? Or both?
I don't know if I necessarily. Yeah, I suppose I do feel them in certain ways, but there's no one like pushing it on me. It's more if you watch everyone else, and that's what we all do. If you were to fucking follow everyone around you, we'd all be doing the same thing.
Comparison really is incredibly crippling.
Yeah.
And it could distract you and derail you from what's genuinely true to you.
Yeah, exactly. I think you need to, go down your own path. I feel like I'm using all the fucking cliches.
That was
today.
good.
Watch this.
Yeah,
I'm an open book, path, journey. I'm pulling them all out. Manifestation.
Do you manifest?
Do I fuck?
No?
No.
You're telling me in your life you never once saw yourself somewhere, like dreamed of it in your mind's eye?
Oh, yeah. When I was,
Younger.
No, there's little bits like that, but I'm not going to be like going around going, I've manifested this. Because you only fucking say you manifested if it went well.
Exactly.
No one fucking said, oh, I pictured this and something shit happened. And they're full of shit.
It's true.
Yeah.
Here's a cliche.
The glory hunters come out,
Success
I
has
manifested this.
Success has many fathers. Failure is an orphan.
Jesus.
Right? There we go. Science is about anxiety. That is, it's a beautiful record, but Meltdown also is about anxiety too. Are they two different sides of the same, the same struggle that you face?
Yeah, science is kind of less about me. It's more about observational, like talking to someone who's really struggling. And Meltdown is more internal / observational too, in a way. They're kind of all, because you go through something, but someone's relatively going through something else at the same time. Science is a darker version of Meltdown, for the people who are really struggling.
Why were they both needed on this album?
I feel like I deal with it in some shape or form. So I felt like it was a thing I wanted to write about. I observe. So that's another reason to be writing about it. And then I'm very aware of the world we live in and the social pressures, the anxieties that people have, my fans who are listening to the stuff. It was for all of us.
I felt really understood by Science.
Mm.
And to your point, like you hit the nail on the head. Like Science is a darker version of Meltdown.
Mm.
Or I kind of saw it as like the stages almost.
Yeah.
You know, like one essentially is connected to the other.
Yeah.
I do believe that when messages like this are received in music, it does release a stigma. Because there is, I mean, now less than before, but there remains a stigma surrounding mental health, you know? It's still not treated as equal as physical health, ever.
Oh, no. I can't see that happening for a long time, but it's definitely getting somewhere.
But music creates conversation, you know?
I mean, the fact that we're sitting here talking about it.
Fuck yeah.
There's no way that you would have caught 3 dudes in a room doing this 10 years ago.
No. We go to we go to therapy, right?
I love my therapist.
Really?
He makes the greatest iced tea.
All right.
I walk in, he starts brewing it right in front of me.
Come on.
Jesus.
Yeah, where does he go?
Who's your guy?
He goes to a beach club.
I'll recommend you later.
Yeah, cheers.
By the way, therapy is really special. If you, and at this point, it's accessible in the most incredible ways. So we'll put a link in the description below for resources. Any nerves adding a song like Science to the album? Or
No.
do you just know it was the right thing to do?
Probably would have been the case a while ago. I think having that period of stillness has just made me care less about what I say, but care more, if you know what I mean. Like there's a bit of both in it, like putting it out there.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah,
There's
I think so.
real power in that.
Yeah, because as I keep saying, when you're on the move all the time, you don't do too much thinking, do you? Like you're just rolling along with things, going to work, going home, getting up, doing it again. But when you get a period where you get to sit still, it can react in one or two ways, to be honest. But I found it quite like thought-provoking and like, yeah, I actually found it a good thing.
I mean, life-changing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can make the case that over the last couple of years, your life has changed for the better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's no doubt. Much more clear on everything across the board, and it's probably made the songwriting a bit better too.
Do you believe that?
I think so, yeah. Because it's just, you're not sitting down playing the instrument, thinking of a melody, and then overthinking what you're going to say.
I get that.
You're not thinking like, should I say this? Is this too much? Not that I did that too much, but when there was times where I would have sat there and gone, nah, I'm not saying that. I keep that for myself.
Keep that for do you regret songs that could have been more specific to you that ended up not being?
I don't know. I was writing about very specific scenarios in the last 2 records.
Yeah, you were. So, but
whereas this one is a bit more in general, and like the open book.
Yeah.
It's more, yeah, there's more to give on this one, whereas when you're writing introspectively about certain scenarios, specific times of day, places, you write about that. You don't need to get into big detail. Whereas this album has allowed you to open up a little bit more.
If everything was simple, how would we know? It's a good lyric. It's very true.
That's when I knew the album was off to a good start.
Really?
Yeah. I wrote this one and then thought, this is the start of a record.
Fuck.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah. So what do you take with you from that song that you choose to apply moving forward?
It provokes thoughts then. You know, if everything was easy and nothing ever broke, if everything was simple, how would we know
It's true.
how good we had it? Because it was during the pandemic when we were like, we'd lost all the control that we love to have as humans.
But there's something to this. When I listen to the album, it doesn't sound like a COVID created anything at all. Like it applies to me today in the deepest of ways.
It took me that time
to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people came out of COVID with these like sad, depressing songs. This is really not sounding like that at all.
No, I always try and write like songs where there has to be like an uplifting message, because I'm always like the eternal optimist that'll just see the best in a shit situation, basically. So yeah.
Do you do that in real life?
Yeah. I mean, that's the show. You go through shit. Be all right in the end. Hopefully.
Is it tiring to see the positive in a shitty situation?
Well, if it goes wrong in the end, then yeah.
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 But still, you at least saw the positive in it, so you
Yeah.
move forward on the right foot.
Yeah, correct.
Damn. On a night like tonight, what were you about to say?
Well, what was the positive looking back on releasing Heartbreak Weather the day the pandemic started and not, having that roll out how you wanted it to
this
go?
Actually, this personally affects me.
Because that album is still great. I wish it got the love it deserves.
Yeah, me too. Weirdly enough. Yeah, I spent the previous fucking 18 months doing the thing. And then do like 6 weeks of promo, rehearse for a whole tour, spend like weeks in the studio with the band.
And then nothing.
And then nothing.
And then it's just you on Zooming us every other week.
Yeah. All right, boys, what are you up to? Same thing as you were last week. Fucking nothing.
So but what's the good that comes out of that if you're looking at it like a glass half full type situation?
Well, I just know that the fans will wrap themselves around it. The core group
Yeah.
will, it'll help them in some way. That's the positive. And then knowing that there is an end to this, we will leave our houses at some point, and then I'll have 3 albums to play.
Yeah.
So you just have to fucking think about it like that.
If
you don't laugh, you'll cry. That's a very Irish thing to say.
But it's true.
Yeah.
But the other case I'd make is like that album exists. It's an incredible body of work. And as people come into this new body of work, they're then going to trickle right into the old album. And it's a win for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yeah, I think
absolutely.
Yeah, I would like to think that when this album comes out, then people would be like, oh, here's another one that we didn't notice.
By the way, highly recommend Dear Patience. It's a great song. It's
Zach
on
sang
Heartbreak
is fucking obsessed with this song.
I am.
Yeah.
By the way, there is going to be a link in the description below, so you can listen to all of Niall's music on Amazon Music, including this new album, The Show. What were you thinking?
What was the biggest difference between making Heartbreak Weather and this album?
I think this one was more considered across the board. Everything, every part of it, like down to BVs and drum sounds and conceptually, just the overall thing. Whereas the last time I was like, I know what I'm writing about, but I'm just going to go in and try and write the best pop songs I can. Whereas this time I was, and I think it's the second album thing, isn't it? And then this time I was just a bit more, I know exactly what I'm going to say. Like, even down to the point where I'd start writing a song on a specific concept, and if I didn't think that the song was as good as the concept, I'd scrap and start again instead of wasting my own time. Instead of sitting there for like 7 hours writing a song and then going, I don't even like that. Just save a good concept for a good song. So I actually ended up writing a lot less. I was like really considered about what I was going to say.
Do you feel like you were making music more for you this album compared to everybody else, or making it for everybody else?
Yeah, I would say so. I think you can probably hear that as well.
Totally.
Yeah. I
You
hope that. Yeah. I think so.
The consideration.
Yeah, you can hear the time. I mean, the pandemic slowed things down. There's no doubt. Like, I was working with a Kiwi producer. He was living in Auckland, New Zealand, and they were the last country to open their doors. I mean, that just slows things down in general.
But there's nothing like John, right? Like, that's what you're talking about?
Well, this is Joel Little when he came up,
Okay.
and him and John Ryan co-produced the whole thing together, but we needed to get Joel up for that to work. Like, there was days where I was sat in Capitol Studios, obviously with Capitol Records, so I was using the studio, and I would just sit there and I had Joel on a screen, and I was just like, this is shit. Get the man into the room.
How do you capture the energy?
He can't. Not with like a 1.5 second delay on absolutely everything.
Did any good songs come from those Zoom meetings, or did you have to kind of wait till you got in person to really finish everything?
They were handy when we were producing the things, but no, the writing stuff was just like, I can't think of one song I did over Zoom that I liked. Oh no, that's a lie actually. Wrote a song with Capaldi, but that wasn't great.
How do you know it's not good? What is the muscle inside?
That was shit. I just know. I mean, you know what it's like.
I mean, what's shit about that song? Was it your voices didn't go too well together? Was it the lyrics? Was it the song?
Just wasn't a great song.
I don't even know. All the above.
All the above, yeah. We need to be in the same room to get anything decent. Yeah, the COVID writing thing, it was working for a lot of people. Some of the biggest songs of the last couple of years were written over Zoom, but I'm very much like a people-driven person.
Energy.
Yeah, you just have to be in the same room.
Totally.
Yeah, definitely.
When you scrap a record like that, do you save it for another day or do you just let it go?
Couldn't even tell you what the melody is. There's another song that I wrote with him that I could sing it to you now, but still don't think it's very good.
But can it get there, or is it just done where it's
I
at?
don't know. I think it's worth just starting again.
Maybe you guys are just better off as friends.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean?
Better
Maybe
drinker.
collaborators.
Yeah. I think maybe we're better drinkers than we are writers.
This is the universe saying,
Yeah, just don't force it, guys. Don't, the people want it, but don't give it to them.
will you fill your schedule with sessions though, just to creatively stay active, or how do you operate that way?
I was doing it in dribs and drabs, just because. Well, I was writing bits. I was getting my ideas at home. I always try and come with something, like musically, a verse, a line, whatever it may be. And then if I feel like I've got enough, then I'll go back in. I definitely went through a period in the middle of the album where I was kind of going around the houses and booking in sessions for 3 weeks at a time, and it was just like, I didn't enjoy that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So we just broke it down to, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and put the same, me and then a few others, and then made it like we always do.
It's been the same core collaborators since the very beginning of your solo career. It's fucking sick.
John and Julian Bonetta, John Ryan, Tobias, Jessa Jr., Amy Allen, Jamie Scott when I'm in London.
What do all these people share?
I'm actually friends with them.
That's sick.
I think that makes such a difference to me, because I'd find it hard to be like, here's my life story to people I don't know. I think that's why I struggled with when I was doing the rounds. You have to be comfortable. I actually heard Lizzie McAlpine saying the same thing to you guys here a few weeks ago, was it?
Yeah.
And I watched the interview, and I remember her saying that. I was like, I agree. Couldn't agree more. She was like, yeah, I just have to be one specific person and keep the thing small, and
be with people you understand and who understand you. Like, judgment free is vital to anything creative.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like, why the fuck are you going to open your life story to people who don't know you?
Yeah, I just find it hard. You just don't walk up to someone in the street and go, this is my whole story in 4 seconds. You can't, because that's what happens when you go into those things. It's like, okay, so what kind of record are you making?
Yeah.
What's the sound? What do you want to write about today?
No. You can't do that.
How the fuck?
You can't.
How the fuck do you do that?
You don't. Like, but okay, you get something, but it's never going to be something that's cohesive and a part of something larger.
Yeah.
And nor is it going to ever be the truest thing to you.
Yeah.
And you can't force those to come between like 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's the thing as well. You got like 6 hours with someone, and if it doesn't work in those 6 hours, everyone's just like, see ya.
Yeah, but and nobody wants to do what you do, which is scrap and start over.
Yeah.
Most people will be like, oh, no, we got something. We're going to mine this shit until it's a finished something, and we walk out with something.
Sometimes that works, though.
Yeah.
You hear some of the biggest hit writers in the world go, well, it was part of that song, that verse, and now that chorus actually was a B part to another thing, and then we ended up doing a bit of jumbling around, and we actually got the biggest hit ever. But my brain just can't compute that.
But that's how you get.
That's for the Max Martins or the Puths of the world.
Yeah. We're getting something different on this album. We're getting a real show. So you should listen to the show. There's a link in the description below. On a night like tonight, tell me everything you like except for goodbye. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Do you fear the love of your life leaving?
Yeah, there's always that. When you go through the initial stage, then you start thinking, please don't. Yeah, I think there is that, and I loved writing this song. This was actually a song that was written by accident. It was I went over to John's to listen to another track we'd been working on.
And how did this just come out of
And
that?
I just started playing. There was a guitar next to me, and I just started playing, and then we wrote On a Night Like Tonight. And then we started writing it. I was like, I'd love a song that feels like you get 2 songs in one. like the first minute of this is not what you get at the back end of it.
Totally.
And I love that. I'd love this to go somewhere.
It went.
It went.
Where did it go?
Fucking the 90s.
It gives.
Yeah.
No, it's giving nostalgia a present.
Yeah, it went back to the 90s, like kind of Brit pop kind of thing.
Does the song you originally went in there for ever see the light of day, or is that just gone somewhere?
I can't remember what I was listening to. What, the one that I was listening to?
You go to John's house to finish a song, but you end up making this one instead.
I actually just think I was listening to something. I couldn't tell you what I was listening to. It was probably something else that we'd written early on. Couldn't tell you if it made it or not, because I can't remember, but it was a cool, like, I'm coming over for an hour to listen to something.
And you organically end up creating a song that was not forced.
It's really cool.
Couldn't be more opposite than a contrived session.
There was this, what's the thing called? I don't know if you'll be able to help me, but it's like a little mini keyboard. I can't remember the name.
Oh, it's like a MIDI thing,
And
right? Is that the MDI shit?
And you can like play notes in different, you can record notes into it and then it plays back all the different notes. Like, so I blew across the top of a bottle.
What the fuck?
We had a beer and I blew across, you know, with that noise.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you blow, and we played it into that thing. And that's where the start of On a Night Like Tonight comes from.
From you blowing into a beer bottle.
And we just, all the notes are in there then. I can't remember the name of the thing. My brain is fried.
When do you add that in there? Does it organically happen at the top of it?
I was thinking, well, this song could be acoustic chords going. But what if it was like, and I just thought that with the bottle thing, I thought it'd be a sick thing to make it just a point of difference, because it'd be very, I think it's expected for me to start every song with an acoustic guitar. So I was like, how do I just like slide away from it and have the guitar in the background instead of in the foreground?
You blow into a beer bottle.
Blown across the top of a beer bottle.
So do you literally just tell him, or both of them, just how you hear it in your head and they bring it to life?
No, we were just sitting there and I was just like, what's this thing? And he was telling me what it was, and then he recorded the thing and I just blew one note across the top of a bottle.
Boom.
And then it was just, he can play every note on the keys then.
That's crazy.
In that sound, it's sick. I don't know what, I'm going to sound like an idiot to all the musos out there, but my brain has gone blank on the fucking thing.
Do you know what it's called?
No, I was Googling and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, cool.
We'll find it. We'll find it out.
This
and
is
insert right
great
at the bottom.
television.
But also, If You Leave Me, it's like the somewhat of a breakup song on this album, because there's no real breakup songs. Did you feel like you needed to kind of put something like that in there?
Well, and what, sorry?
There was like no breakup sad songs on the album.
No.
So like If You Leave Me is almost like thinking about that.
Yeah, well, as I said, I was trying to find all the spokes to the wheel.
Yeah.
You got your love song.
There it is.
You've got your desperation, If You Leave Me. You've got your anxious song. You've got they're all fucking connected. They're all in the one Venn diagram.
Do we listen to this album top to bottom in order, or can we consume out of order?
Now you can consume out of order, I think, but I did purposefully make it 10 songs.
Why?
Although the last song is called Must Be Love, and it's everything that's said above in one song.
Was that intentional?
Yeah.
Why do you feel like you needed to wrap it up?
Because if it feels like love, then it must be love. If it barks like a dog, it must be a dog.
How do you know that you're in love?
Ready for another cliche?
Yeah, go.
When you know, you know. I'm an open book, my own path and journey. Yeah.
Is it true, though?
I think so. It's like,
How do you know if somebody loves you?
you have to hope they think the same way.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah. It's good. It's a good feeling.
I long for it.
That was also a part of your Lizzie McAlpine interview.
That was, oh my God, yeah.
That fucking story is one of the cruelest bastard stories I've ever heard. What the fuck?
You want to repeat what
It's
he
so
said?
sad.
You want to repeat it?
No, it's so sad that, like,
Yeah, I don't want you to repeat it because it's just resurfacing.
you know, I went to Las Vegas a couple weeks ago where that went down, that conversation, and I can't go to Resorts World by this little bodega that's a speakeasy where Zed does his after parties anymore, because it's exactly where the conversation happened. And I walk by and I want to cry, and I start to like I get like tingles, like I feel different. In a nutshell, the person I'm still in love with because I'm a fucking idiot moron. I'm an idiot. Like I'm still in love with this person. I've like let them in even deeper since.
Yeah.
Like this was a year ago. We may even live together now. I don't want to confirm or deny anything. Oh my God, you look like you're gonna vomit. Me too.
Zach.
No, it's fucked.
You're saying a lot right
The
now.
most. So this person I'm still in love with told me that they're in love with everything about me except for me physically.
Do you ever go home and she's like, I watch all of your interviews and I hear you talk about me in every one of them.
Unless it's in clip form. But some things I keep from Instagram so they don't see it.
Fuck.
It's bad.
It makes my life hard because I'm like, can we post this? You're like, yes or no.
But what's even more fucked up is that I've still allowed them to be around in my life.
Right.
Like not just around, like we live together. Like.
And does he work in the same industry?
Oh yeah.
You know how they say don't.
Is he in this room?
Oh,
No.
And Jen just raises her hand and it's her.
I feel like the last 5 minutes is edited out.
Oh yeah, dude, I shit where I eat.
Oh, fuck me.
But to be fair, this
room's not that big.
I know.
Imagine being stuck in this room every day with him. It's just like it's a roller coaster every day.
It wasn't planned. Like that was like the whole thing wasn't planned that way. Like the plan wasn't to fall in love with somebody who lived on the other side of the globe. Like
you're lying to yourself right now.
No, I'm not lying to myself.
Yes, you are.
No, okay, we're not having this conversation
you
right
are.
now.
You're lying to yourself
We
right now.
are not.
Yes, you
I am not. I'm not lying. See, this is
Jerry.
Yes, you are.
The show brings up thoughts of love, and it makes one internalize their own actions and the own love that they give and receive in this world. And really, if you want to listen to a body of work that makes you move and makes you think, it's this one. It may even make you fight with somebody you care about.
You went to
On to you, Dan.
transition here. You went to Joshua Tree for this album, right? What came out of that whole thing, and like, why'd you want to go there? Who went? What was the whole situation?
Heaven and Meltdown came out of there, actually.
The two first singles.
Yeah, which is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, when I think Joshua Tree, I do think heaven in a weird way. Because it is like so much of nothing but so much beauty at the same time.
Yeah, actually, it's crazy how it changed the sound, really, out there.
Explain that.
I don't know, just like looking out at that every day. Like scorching heat on the rocks and the sun, like, and then the sun coming down. It was very like, it made some songs sound more ethereal to me.
When you apply that to Meltdown, do you go to Joshua Tree to escape something? Do you go looking for creative inspiration? What was the overall purpose of the trip?
First of all, to get out of LA and stop the 12 to 6 routine. Because you do find that everyone's just trying to like, especially like in the darker months of the year when it's like pitch black at 5 p.m. and everyone's like, oh, fuck.
Gotta go.
I gotta go. Gotta put kids to bed and
My
gotta
dog.
make dinner. And so I think I do find that the best stuff comes from those kinds of trips. Did it on the last record, we went to the Bahamas, of all places. And this record, we went to Joshua Tree. It was just to get out of town, and you wake up at whenever, you make a coffee, you have some eggs. All right, should we sit down, try something? Sit outside in the porch, write something out there. Meltdown was, I think, written outside.
Makes sense.
It was hot.
Yeah.
And then Heaven was like a 1 a.m. song. And
Oh my God. So you're looking up at all the stars in the desert, which, by the way, there's no point in this area really that you could see more stars than at Joshua Tree.
It's crazy.
Like that is heaven.
There's no smog out there.
It's crazy.
It's beautiful.
God, I can see it. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. And we just rented an Airbnb, and myself and Joel and John, Tobias came for 2-3 days, and Amy came for 2 or 3. And we just had, write whenever you want, having a chat. Because when you have time to sit around and talk about shit, you know that conversation you had at 2 o'clock is probably coming up at 10 o'clock at night as part of a song.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
people making like mental notes as to what I said, or something they said, or an observation we all agreed on, or, you know what I mean? It all kind of subconsciously happens, and then you go down to sit and write over a groove or something. It's like, I remember what we were talking about.
But that's like organic interactions leading into organic art.
Exactly.
That is created from reality. And I promise you, I felt deeply understood by this album to the point where I'm like totally oversharing. Listen to it. There's a link in the description below. You can also listen to all of Niall's music on Amazon Music, but listen to the show and share it with those you care about because it's fucking awesome. It's really a superb body of work.
Thank you.
You should be proud of it.
I am, yeah. No, I feel like I've grown up a little bit, and I think you can hear it, and I think you can hear the consideration. Here I am talking about it, but I hope the masses agree.
Dude, I believe they will. I also think you have hits on this record, so.
Oh, I hope so.
Save My Life is fucking awesome. It's really good.
I think Never Grow Up's my favorite.
A lot of people are saying that. I think that's going to be the fan favorite.
Yeah.
It feels like a song that they would like just the sound of it, the vibe of it.
They've also grown up with you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's always come into play when you're writing a song like that too. Like, we hope we grow up, but we never grow up.
It's great.
Because it's cool. It's got another side story to it. Like, I'm fucking standing there on stage in front of fans that I've been looking out at for 13 years.
That just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Because that shit's real. It's the same people who have been really watching and growing and listening.
Yeah.
And people have lived so much life parallel to yours. And you've lived so much life parallel to theirs.
Correct.
But connected the entire time.
It's crazy.
It's weird.
It's mad what music can do.
What a crazy life you have lived. Now that I'm thinking about
And
it.
none of it was manifested. He did it all on his own. Fuck the universe.
No, it is nuts. Like,
It's crazy.
Yeah. And I probably didn't really, as I said at the start, I probably didn't really think about it until I sat down for a second.
Well, you can't really think about it when you're in it. Like, you don't know what's happening next, or you weren't expecting any of that. You just look back, you're like, Jesus Christ.
When you're in the bubble, you're in the fishbowl, it's hard to see out of it, you know.
Oh my God, yeah. But everybody else is looking in.
Yeah. It's nice to have a look in now. You know what I mean?
New perspective.
Yeah. It is, though. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's like fucking no one, like not many, the fucking small percentage of people in the world get to do this.
When you look back, does it even like feel like you, or does it feel like somebody else?
Yeah, no, it definitely feels like there's definitely a divide, but it does. It definitely feels like me. Like, I remember it all because I've got a really good memory. I remember everything. I remember the smallest details.
Is that a blessing or a curse?
No, I like it. It's great. Fucking great time. And now it's just a progression of that, I suppose.
It is, but also, like, I don't know. This shit is different, but it's also a beautiful continuation of what was built. And the thought of those same kids growing up, listening to this music, still enjoying it today, that's really one of the main things that keeps me going, because it's definitely not my personal life. It's this concept that people have been watching us for the last 16 years.
Yeah.
And we've been bringing people closer to the artists that have changed their life. And, you know, I don't know.
Exactly what you're doing as well. There's some people that have been watching this since day one.
Yeah, too long. And I meet people every day, and it's like the greatest blessing of my life. And it's really cool to meet people who are like, I've been listening to you since I was a kid. I was a kid. I'm like, how old are you? And they're like, I'm 18. I'm like, fuck, what? But see, that's the other thing too, is you're also going to start gathering fans that never listen to One Direction music.
Yeah.
That we've entered that same zone now where, like, there's a generation of kids that are aware of us, that have grown up with us, and then there's a whole new generation that is consuming everything for the first time. And they've heard all of this, maybe from an older sibling, or consumed it like very passively or at arm's length, that are now about to consume it as their own, you know?
Oh, for sure. I think that's also one of the main reasons why I wanted to do festivals. I know there's the younger generation, and there you give that to them a different way, but the festivals was also an important one to see if I could gather some new fans.
How exciting is that?
That's sick. Like, I always go to festivals. I'm always at them. So I've some of my favorite artists now have been people that I've stumbled across at 3 p.m. after a few drinks.
Yeah. How do you get people in that may not know you? They're like, who's this guy playing on stage as they're walking by? Like, how do you suck them in?
Try and put on the best show I possibly can. Play all the good songs, and
oh shit, that's what I wanted to ask you.
I keep my fingers crossed.
I've had this screenshot for so long. You were doing a Q&A back in like 2021, and somebody said, what's the trick to writing a banger? And you wrote, wouldn't be able to tell you.
You know me.
Do you feel like you haven't written like a banger yet?
Oh yeah, no, I feel like I've been there or thereabouts.
Yeah, you got some bangers.
I feel like I've written some good songs, yeah. I don't know if I still don't know if there's a trick to it.
Okay.
There's definitely some math to the construction of a song, but you can't I can't guarantee that if I was to open my mouth in the next 10 seconds that the best melody in the world is about to come out. So I think it's you can't put your finger on what it is. It's just whatever brainwave you have at the time and hope for the best. There's a lot of fingers crossed in my career.
Fingers and toes. You really should listen to the show, though. Please listen. Link in the description below. We beg, but we also don't beg because you're going to want to. Once you listen to it once, you're going to fucking want to listen to it again.
I'm begging.
He's begging.
I'm
not.
here to sell this shit.
Final thoughts?
I know you guys can't write good songs together, but I wish the you and Lewis tour actually would happen one day. The one that got scrapped.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd obviously love to do it. I don't know if we kind of say to each other, imagine that'll probably never happen.
But it almost did happen.
But we don't know if but it almost did. But because it's been out there and then didn't happen,
It may be over.
You never know. We'll see. You never know. That fucker's probably playing stadiums this time next year.
No,
he's outgrown you, hasn't he?
Yes, easily.
He's a really special guy, though. Really different, but also just like you and me, but open and honest and very vulnerable. I mean, there is he's really fucking great. It's really cool to see you both being honest and talking about things that matter. Anxiety, talking about OCD. Those things go a long way. So I really do genuinely appreciate that. And
yeah, I think there's I think people can probably see that we're normal fellas. Have a bit of a laugh, me. Always up for a bit of a laugh. But we're all human, man.
One quick question. You have stayed very normal and grounded and humble over the years. Did you ever feel yourself getting going in a bad direction? Or going down a bad path?
I don't think so. No, I don't know. I think I had enough morals by 16.
Yeah,
I think to stand me in good stead the way I was brought up, the type of upbringing I had, very working class, blue collar type stuff, and just knew enough rights and wrongs. Mm-hmm. Definitely made mistakes, of course, along the way, but you learn from them. And yeah, I don't think I have. It's probably not a very humble thing to say, is it? But
give us one more cliche before you get out of here.
Which one do you want? Just you tell me and I'll say it.
Instagram right now. Feed him a good one.
I don't know.
Yep. But there is something to the way you are raised and the fact that it does trickle through to today, right? Who you are, the way you're nurtured and the way you are brought up and what you experience in life, you end up being a collection of that.
Yeah.
No matter what you're thrown into, you're still going to rely on the foundations that your parents gave
Correct,
you.
yeah. That's exactly what I'm going to say. I was trying to say. I just said it in a roundabout way.
I got you. Listen to the show, please. Link in the description below. I'm going to give you one more fucking thought here.
I keep asking it. No, let's just know.
What is it?
I don't know.
I know what it is.
Oh.
No, I can't even see your computer screen.
But I just got deja vu.
What'd I ask?
What are you going to?
No, I wanted to ask about golf. Do the golf and the music world ever come together, or do you try to completely separate them, or do you learn from one and bring it to the other?
I mean, I'd like to keep them apart if I can, but they do inform each other, help each other. Well, not inform each other, but they collide in ways. I love playing golf. It's part of me.
Do you take music business technique and apply it to representing golfers?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like what?
There's just a business side of it that you would, knowing what I know about different parts of the industry, it applies to some parts of the golf industry.
Does seeing how that sausage is made make you love golf more, or maybe grow a little bit more distant from it?
I try and do it a different way.
Really?
I think there's the old school way of managing golfers, and then there's what we're trying to do. Seeing these people need nurturing, care.
You can't just come in when somebody's a superstar. You have to take them from nothing.
Yeah, you can't just be like, here's a big corporate deal. Good luck. Yeah, it needs a bit of more thought.
Yeah, tender love and care.
Correct.
That's hard to do.
I don't know.
You have to put the right team around it, right?
Yeah, and there's a good team around it. That helps, and everyone's on the same on the same boat about it. And yeah, you just have to. Yeah, we've been very lucky. I think some of that nurturing that's where I feel proud of it, because we've had 22 worldwide wins across all types of golf.
Sick.
And I think that some of that is down to some of the groundwork that we do on a daily basis. I think, when people are relaxed, they can go out and do their best work. Can't put the ball in the hole for them, but we can try and do everything else.
And that's all you can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is set up the right environment around them that's supportive and stress-free and allows them to do what they do best.
Correct. Like in music.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that environment's always been around you, or did you have to kind of acquire it over time?
No, I've been very lucky. Day one, really good team, really good management. We've got a great label. I've always had good labels. Yeah, I've just always been very lucky in that sense. I've never seen the horror story.
Is your knee okay?
Both of them are fucked.
They are, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to get replacements?
This one has been replaced.
What, already?
Yeah.
Shit, why did I know
That was
that?
like 9 years ago.
Jesus Christmas. I know it was a floating kneecap, right?
Yeah, and then this one is, I was playing soccer about 4 months ago, and I just ran and stopped, and I heard a pop.
Oh, shit.
And then I tore my patella tendon, which is the one that keeps your kneecap in place. So I've got that.
Oof.
Yeah, 'cause the kneecap doesn't sit into its groove properly. So they sit up on top,
Oh, no.
which puts stress on that tendon. And now I'm stiff and
Ugh.
sore constantly.
And to everybody who says age is just in your fucking head. Okay? That's insane. Stick his fake knee in your pipe and smoke it. That's crazy. So you're going to get both knees replaced before
That one, I have to get, I was meant to get this thing called PRP. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Where he's going to stick an injection in
Yeah.
to the tendon, spin the blood, put it back in, and then the platelets rise to the top, and they kind of
Sick.
But it's like weeks out.
I wish you a new knee.
Thank you.
And I wish you great success with the show.
Thank you very much.
And I wish you great love.
Thank you.
Continued great love.
And you, Dan?
I wish you all the best.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Niall Horan, everybody.
Cheers,
You're fucking
folks.
great. Thank you.